Hello everyone, myself Tanvi Patel, working as Assistant Professor in Computer Engineering Department in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Our subject is Effective Technical Communication and subject code is 313004. Today our practical one is role play. This is the outline, that is role play. Now what is role play? Role play is any speaking activity when you either put yourself into somebody else's shoes or when you stay in your own shoes but put yourself into an imaginary situation. Means role play is one type of activity in which you put yourself into another situation. Means you are playing the role of someone else, that is role play. Role play is an activity to familiarize them with a particular situation as well as related vocabulary. It also helps in developing necessary quality like assertiveness. Successful participation in role play helps develop confidence and help one become an able communicator. Means if you are participating in a role play, then you can develop your self confidence and you can also build up your communication skill. Why use of role play? It is used for following reasons. It's fun and motivating, means it's help us to motivate and do the task. Next, quieter students get the chance to express themselves in a more forthright way. Means the student who is very quiet in the class, he or she gets the chance to express himself or herself what he or she can able to do, that is role play. The world of the classroom is broadened to include the outside world, thus offering a much wider range of language opportunities. Means role play also gives us range of language opportunities so that we can learn different languages of different countries. Next, real situations can be created and students can benefit from this practice. Next, how to use role play. It is easy to set up and run a role play session. It helps to follow the 5 steps below. First is identify the situation. To start the process, gather people together, introduce the problem and encourage an open discussion to uncover all of the relevant. This will help people to start thinking about the problem before the role play begins. Means first is you have to identify the situation. Given situation, you have to identify the problem, you have to know, and then encourage your partner to discuss on that. That is identify the situation. Next is add details. Next step is set up a scenario in enough detail for it to feel real. Means the situation which is being given to you, you have to set up the scenario that you can feel that it is real happening in our life. Make sure that everyone is clear about the problem that you are trying to work through and that they know what you want to achieve by the end of the session. Next is assign roles. Once you have set the scene, identify the various frictional characters involved in the scenario. Means assigning the role to the participants who have participated in the role play, giving them the different roles to act, that is assigning role. Some of this may be people who have to deal with the situation when it actually happens. For example, salespeople. Means a salesperson who is selling something, he deals with the real situation. He is facing the problem with the customer and trying to solve their problems, that is the real life problem. Others will represent people who are supportive or hostile depending on the scenario. For example, an angry client. Means any situation is there in the company and depending on the situation or on the scenario, that is the other representative. Once you have identified these roles, allocate them to the people involved in your exercise. They should use their imagination to put themselves inside the minds of the people that they are representing. This involves trying to understand their perspectives, goals, motivations, and feelings when they enter the situation. Now, next is act out the scenario. Each person can then assume their role and act out the situation, trying different approaches where necessary. Means, after assuming their roles, what they have given, you have to act upon that situation. Means, you have to create the situation and try to approach what is necessary. It can be useful if the scenarios built up intensity. For instance, if the aim of your role play is to practice a sales meeting, the person is playing the role of the potential client could start as an ideal client and through a series of scenarios could become increasingly hostile and difficult. You could then test or practice different approaches for handling situations so that you can give participants experience in handling them. Last is discuss what you have learned. Means after the whole role play is being over, then you have to discuss about what you have learned from this situation. When you finish the role play, discuss what you have learned so that you or the people involved can learn from your experience. For example, if you are using it as a part of a training exercise, you could lead a discussion on the scenario you have explored and ask for writing summaries or observation and conclusion from everyone who has involved. Tips on successful role play. Role play is possible at elementary level providing the students having been thoroughly prepared. Try to think through the language the students will need and make sure this language has been presented. Understand the situation very well. Think of all the related perspectives. Look at the situation from your partner's perspective means another viewpoint as well. Next is example of role play. Here I have given one example of role play, that is parents are discussing about their kids addiction to the mobile game. Means the father and mother is discussing about the kids addiction to the mobile game. How they have discussed, you can see over here that mother is telling, I am very much worried nowadays. Our son Bunty is busy playing games on mobile phones all the time. So the father is replying back that that's the reason I was against buying a smartphone for him. But you insisted on gifting him the smartphone on his birthday. So they are discussing about the mobile phone which they have gifted to their son. So mother is telling that I thought he could use it for academic purpose. Means mother's point of view was that he will use for academic purpose. But no child does this. They always play games on the mobile. So father is telling no child does that. By the way, which game does he play? So the father is asking the mother that which game he is playing. So mother is telling that he is playing all the time PUBG, and father replies, this is the game to which many people got addicted nowadays. I have also heard my colleagues expressing their concern about this menace of mobile games. So mother is telling, but what is the way out? Now what we will do about this child addicted to the games? We need to divert his attention. He requires focusing on his studies as well as physical fitness. His result has been adversely affected because of this mobile phone. Means mother is telling to father that his result has been affected due to this mobile phone and he is not focusing on his studies and his physical activities. So father is replying back, there is only one way out. He also loves sports, so I will divert his attention towards sports. Let me start playing badminton with him in club daily for 2 hours. I will play badminton with him for 2 hours so that he can focus on games, his physical fitness and avoid using mobile phones. So mother replied back, it is a good idea, let's give it a try. So this was the role play of mother and father discussing about the child addicted to the mobile phone. Next, exercise to solve. A teacher is interacting with a student who is very good at studies but extremely irregular in attending class. The teacher is trying to convey the student to attend class regularly. So the first conversation between the teacher and the child. Second one, the college has organized a 2-day, 3-night tour for all students. Dhruv is trying to convince his father to allow him to join his friends. So the second role play is between Dhruv and his father. He is telling his father or conveying his father to join his friends for the camp. The third one is holidays are about to start. Family members are discussing about the place to go during the holiday. So the family members who are discussing, they can be father, mother and their child. So the role play can be between father, mother and their child, or their child and the father, or child and their mother. Fourth one, two students are talking about problems facing in studies. And fifth one is two students are talking about the career choice they can have after completing their graduation and post graduation. Thank you.